Thank you for pausing in the midst of this conference to give thanks to God for the life and the ministry of Bishop Ellinah Wamukoya. Bishop Wamukoya died of COVID just a few months before her expected retirement. She came with me to the GEM conference in Alabama, as both of us shared our experiences as companions, both with Swaziland, Iowa, and Brecon in Scotland, to the conference. Bishop Wamukoya loved God's people, and she loved God's earth. She was the first Anglican female bishop in Africa, and she was also the chair of the Anglican Commission on Environmental Justice. She led Green Anglicans wherever she could in the effort of being good stewards of this world and reversing the impact of climate change. She loved God's young people. She called them her Gideons. She fought for the equality of God's people across the genders. And she loved to care for the orphans that were there in the Diocese of Swaziland. Please take some time now as we listen to other testimonies and see in pictures the wonderful life of Bishop Wamukoya.
Each and every Sunday, and whenever we get the opportunity to celebrate the Eucharist in our own words, in the words that we say, we recognize that Christ died to reconcile us and to reconcile his creation, and he died for all. Therefore, we now are made aware that we are all one in worship. Because in worship, we are said that we belong to God and we belong to one another with creation. We come not as a group of individuals, but as a community with common purpose and a common life. We come encouraging one another to praise and thank God. As we participate in the Eucharist, it is not simply a matter between each person and God. It expresses who we are, that we are the Holy Communion. This understanding of communion has, however, been limited to humans only, when in actual fact, in the Eucharist, it is the communion of individuals, angels, and archangels, and the whole creation. This is the unity which is expressed in every Eucharist.
We learned so much more about God, fathomed more deeply the depths of love, understood the mercy of an embracing, caring God, because we were schooled in the heart of this bishop. The diocese was blessed to have her as a mother and to experience in her ministry the same tenderness, the same measure of love, the same graciousness as her children knew her every day.
Let the church be the prophetic voice that will preach justice. Christian faith is at stake. Poverty and climate change have a bearing on each other. Where injustice are perpetrated by the government of the day, this calls for prophetic critique from the church. In our provinces, in our dioceses, in our congregations and communities, Christians are to engage with the care of the environment and search for climate justice as central to the Christian life. It is the most challenging spiritual and moral issues of our days. Amen.